Hi everyone, today I'm going to be looking at a game I played as Wildfire versus England 5. This matchup is pretty brutal, mostly because Wildfire, um, it has a lot of offense, but at a cost of adding more blight, so um, the increased health of England really just kind of delays everything that Wildfire is good at. So you're really looking for blight management. You're looking for defense to kind of stall while you try to survive. Really, I'm playing on board A. I feel like board A gives me a consistent setup. I'll go grow 3 twice, once into the wetlands and then once into that other sands. I think board A is good because you are just super strong in the sands. Like if sands explores, you can get rid of an explorer. If jungles explores on turn 1, I'll just restart the game. I've never had a good setup with jungles exploring on turn 1. I did get a ease the drought event where you pay 4 energy. So usually I go grow 3 twice, and then look for a major power, usually looking specifically for paralyzing fright or indomitable claim. But I do get this event that I have to pay 4 to get an extra blight off, or get an extra presence on my growth tracks. So I do get an extra presence, but the trade-off is that I can't go for a power card. This turn, I do kind of roll the dice here. So I could either go into the corner wetlands and for sure blight both both jungles. But I go into the inland jungles and hope for either a fear card or an event that can take care of the coastal jungles. As Wildfire, you really need you need some low cost minor powers that have fire and plant in it. So I'm looking for specifically Gift of Living Energy has fire and plant is 0 cost, and Wildfire also has energy problems. So it's kind of like the perfect card that I'm looking for, but I do get this other card. I don't even know what it's called. It's Roiling Bog. It has an isolate effect. I'm not sure why it's in this version of the game, but it's 0 cost. It has plant and fire, and it has a defend. So I do get a really clutch effect that saves that coastal jungle. So I actually credit this win to that coastal jungle, because it just puts off a blighted island for another turn. Reclaim, I do this same 3 cards, and the reason is because at 3 plant, your innate does damage based on the amount of fire you have, rather than half the amount of fire you have. And also here, Threatening Flames does 4 fear if you're surrounded by your presence. So I have this inland sands that I can just reclaim and use Threatening Flames on it to gain a fear card every turn. Alright, sands are ravaging, wetlands are building. I still have 2 blight, which is really good. I get another favorable fear card where I can just get rid of a town there, so that's another fear. And sands shows up again. So sands shows up once in stage 1 and then once in stage 2, which is kind of really ideal. I think if sands doesn't show up at all, it's going to be a really tough time. Here in my another minor power draw, I go back and forth a little bit because I'm looking at Drift Down into Slumber. It's a defend, but I'm trying to figure out something that I can do to help with the inland wetlands. And Inflame the Fires of Life has this plant and fire that I'm looking for. So I go back and forth, but I do think Drift Down into Slumber is the better card because really what you're looking for are zero cost cards with defend and plant in them if you can get them. The one cost cards are also good, and you're also looking for fear generation. I took Sky Stretches to the Shore earlier because it has it makes it a slow power fast, and I have had some pretty close games where it actually it got me through some pretty sketchy turns. So I don't think it ends up really playing it doesn't play a huge role in this game, but I did pick it up earlier just from experience, I found that this is one of the minor powers that ends up being helpful. Some other minor powers that I'm looking for are Purifying Flame. It's one cost, it has plant and fire, and also gets rid of a blight. So like blight management is huge in this matchup. Like really, if you let blight get out of control, it's just game over. So oh yeah, turn one, I always do Growth 3 and then Asphyxiating Smoke to get rid of a town. I'm playing this game pretty fast in the beginning just because, I mean, I've played a bunch of games just to kind of get a standard setup that I can do pretty quickly. Yeah, so like I said before, I'll do Growth 3 twice. Try to get a Sacred Site into the inland, I guess that's land number 4, Sands. But because of that event, I didn't get that Sacred Site. So we'll see if that ends up. I think it is an issue in some things just for targeting, but yeah, it is what it is. I think the trade-off that I have a healthy island right now is actually amazing. So I have Sands building twice. I'm not super scared of this because, like I said before, you're really strong in the Sands on this board. All right, Sands Ravaging. I do have Asphyxiating Smoke. Oh, what happened was there was an event. So I had it to where I think the inland wetlands was going to be okay, but then I think the explorers did +1 damage. So I unfortunately get a blight here, or a blighted island. I go for Portents of Disaster. This is another great card. It does 2 fear, 0 cost. And then if you kill something in the land, it's another fear. So it's basically 3 fear for 0 cost. Flame's Fury and Threatening Flames are kind of your core cards that you want to keep a hold of as much as you can. I'm playing these 3 cards, Flame's Fury, Drift Down into Slumber. So I have a Defend 4 in the Sands. Flame's Fury also gives you an energy and an extra damage on your powers. So just trying to figure out how to best do things with these cards. So I could do a Defend 4 in land number 4. Okay, so I choose not to do Threatening Flames. Instead, I go for another Defend. Because I could do Defend 4 in the land number 4. And I have 6 total damage because Flame's Fury adds another damage. So I have the 5 fire +1. So I get rid of these 2 towns. I have a city left, and the Defend 2 takes care of this Sands. Oh, and then the Blighted Island effect is actually one of the more favorable ones. because it gives you the five blight, and also just getting rid of a presence like isn't that big a deal. I mean, compared to like some of the other ones. I think the more important part is just having the 5 blight that you can play with just to survive for a little bit longer. So sands are fine. Jungle's ravaging, and then coast coming after. So this coastal jungles is going to be a pretty big problem. The inland jungles, I do have a presence there, but I do think the ravage, like there's 2 ravages coming there, and if I have a cascade, I mean, it's just surrounded by blight on all sides, so I really want to get control of this coastal jungles. So I guess I'm looking for something. Call to Trade might have been nice, but I see Shadows of the Burning Forest, which is 0 cost. Plant and Fire, and I just go for it. It has a fear component too, which we really need. Like any matchup against England is really just trying to stall and generate as much fear as possible. So these low cost cards are actually pretty good. I feel like Wildfire, like now that I'm thinking about it, Wildfire plays like, I guess against England specifically, plays kind of similarly to Shadows Flicker like Flame. Just because your normal offense like is kind of non-existent at first. So I have the air to divide. So oh, Ports of Disaster needs a Sacred Site. So I'm forced to put it on that inland sands. Ideally, I would want to put it on the coastal jungles, but I don't have a Sacred Site, and I was kind of alluding to that earlier. So I don't have a Sacred Site on that land 4 sands. I did uncover the 3 fire, so I'm doing 3 damage whenever I'm placing a presence. But I do think that I really just need to get rid of the stuff. So I'm trying to kill something. I'm trying to kill that city in the most inland sands. I think it's like land 7 maybe, to get the extra fear from Portents of Disaster. But it's just crucial to get the jungles going, or to get rid of the stuff in the jungle. So I choose to kill everything in the jungle. I should use Threatening Flames on the land 7 sands, so that's 4 more fear. I have to get rid of something for the Blighted Island, but I do get Teach the Invaders, or Farmers Seek the Dahan for aid. I always do Teach the Invaders because it's just like something that I could do just to stall some more. Like as long as you're not getting up to the that seven building threshold for a loss. All right, so jungles build and then ravage. I 100% need to get rid of the blight in that jungles. So I have the 2 fear from that card, pushing stuff. Asphyxiating Smoke can get rid of something else. So I'm kind of planning. I have 6 blight on the card left. I'm planning on just taking the blight from both that mountains and wetlands on the coast. So they'll both cascade. So I'm planning on cascading into the wetlands and the corner jungle. So that's going to be 4 blight. And then I have that defend 4 in the jungle. So I'm looking for something else. I take Swarming Wasps because it's 0 cost and has a fire, which is helpful. So I'm at stage 3, or terror level 3. Starting to look at the fear. I have another turn kind of planned out because I can survive. I'm taking 4 blight, but I can survive definitely until next turn. So I'm just trying to generate as much fear as possible right now. I do need Drift Down into Slumber because the jungles are ravaging, so I don't want that to ravage twice. Or I don't want it to blight and then blight from the cascade again, because that would be game over. And then I have that other jungle, inland jungles. I feel like I maybe just have to take that as well, potentially. I choose Portents of Disaster just for the extra fear. So I can always do the 4 fear from by targeting that inland, or the way inland sands. It's 2 more fear. It's another 4 fear, and then I do have 5 damage. I have the 2 air to target any of the lands that have my presence and blight in it, but I really do need to destroy something in the land 7 sands to get that extra fear. And so I think I forget that I had used Portents of Disaster, so I'll just go back and kill a city probably. So I have to destroy one of my presents. I think I should have, I forget about this kind of enclosure that I have with my presents, but I get a really bad event. So I have to destroy 3 of my presents anyways. Because I do not, because I'm planning on taking 5 blight this turn, I think. Oh no, it's only the jungles isn't ravaging. The inland jungles isn't ravaging this turn. So resolving some fear cards. Yeah, so I'm taking the 4 blight from the coast. So here I'm trying to set up a 7 fire, like the strongest version of your innate. So I remove the blight from the inland sands with the intention of putting a presence into that corner jungle, and I have to generate 9 fear. So I need to play 4 cards. They all have to be fire. And then I also have to generate 9 fear. I can destroy everything in that inland jungles, so that's 6 fear. So I look for a power card. a minor power card just to see if I can get anything that's helpful. I see Rites of Lands Rejection. That actually is a pretty decent way of generating fear, because it generates fear either with the amount of buildings or Dahan. And I have in the land 4 Sands, I have 2 Dahan in that land. So that's 2 more fear, and then I could definitely generate another fear with something else. So that's the plan. So I think right now I'm just calculating the amount of fear that I need to generate, and I need to generate it fast. So Lands or Rites of Lands Rejection for sure. Just looking at other stuff that potentially has fear in it. So I think I actually could have played like Flash Fires, Swarming Wasps, and instead of Shadows of the Burning Forest. That doesn't really do much for me. I think Swarming Wasps actually, I don't think it really matters, to be honest. I think I just need the 4 fire and then the 2 fear, or 3 fear. So I get 2 fear from Rite of Lands Rejection. Rolling Bog gives me another fear, and then I destroy everything in this jungles to give me another 6 or 5 fear. So I get the fear victory. I also run out of Blight at the same time, but I guess it still counts. So thanks for watching.